Hello there NintendoGBR fans and followers alike, hope you're all well. Well, this afternoon I decided that I wanted to try a complete run through of Darker Side on Super Mario Odyssey, the final level of the game. Now I will admit that I did use the frog cheat to get the moons and I never actually completed this level. So without further ado, I'm just going to talk you through this level. Now I was trying to complete this level yesterday afternoon and I was getting caught on a specific part, and the more I played through it, the more I was enjoying the challenge. So I don't know if you've played through this specific level, but it can go on for some time, and if you die and you have to start the whole process all over again. So we start here at the very beginning of Darker Side, kind of like the jumps across the lava, and then you kind of get these huge kind of like metal waves, as I call them. I tend to use the long jump to get across them, all very simple. And the more that I kept practicing this level to try and complete it in one go, I noticed that there are a lot of patterns. Now there, I almost messed up. And you'll notice in this particular demo, I mess up quite a bit, but I bring it back. So this bit I got really good at. I wasn't too concerned about making errors until I made this error, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'd blown the whole thing. So I thought, no, go on, you keep pushing through. So I kept throwing my hat, and I become, the little Fire Mario, and I thought, right, I just need to get through this next section, because I do know that across the other side there is 2 pieces of light. So, excuse me. I was concentrating really hard here, just trying to dodge that mechanical arm, but unfortunately lost the life. So now I'm down to 1 life. Can I bring it back? Of course! NintendoGBR always brings it back. So those of you that aren't aware, the only way you can get to this level is by having at least 500 moons. And upon reaching the final darker side of the moon, this is the level which is presented to you, and it's almost like there's a theme from every single kind of level or part of the game. I wouldn't say that every single part of Super Mario Odyssey is represented in this final stage, but there are quite a lot of pointers to various different stages. When I tried doing this level a long time ago, I found this specific part quite difficult, but it's all about what you're doing to help yourself. So if you just see there, I didn't push, or I didn't elevate that platform up too high so that I could use it to stand on to make the little guys or the critters beneath me jump off. And the more that you look at the levels, it's all designed to, in a way, be of help to you, but it's all to do with timing, pacing, and just being aware. So as you see now, NintendoGBR has got both pieces of life back, and now I'm back to 3 pieces of life. I must say that the more that I practiced this specific level, the easier I found it. So I would say the majority of this is fairly straightforward, but you've got to practice and practice and practice and practice. There were 1 or 2 points where I did struggle, but the more I persevered, the easier I found it. Even this part here, just by throwing your cap and then jumping as the water comes down, you can get across it a little bit quicker. Sometimes I was having to wait for that perfect timing, and again, that's quite fun. So I would say, no, we're not even at the midway point in this level yet. So this was another tricky part I remember playing a long time ago about the timings. Now, if you just pull Yoshi up with his tongue at the right moment, you won't get hit at all. It's all in the timing. But once you get up here, all you've got to do is remain on the left hand side and you don't get hit. Although these creatures look like they're going to hit me, they don't. So some of what goes on in this level is to make you, the player, panic and to worry. But once you can understand the mechanisms inside the levels, they are kind of there to help you, as weird as that sounds. So a good example of this again is now with Yoshi. I was panicking when I was playing this level, and then I noticed because of the way that he jumps, I was mistiming everything. So by allowing this platform to go forward and being aware of it, I use the double jump and go back over the other side, and I always will make that jump every time now, whereas before I wasn't thinking of the platform beneath me, the kind of flower platform, but that in itself was a massive help. So you're always going to make that jump as long as you know that you're going to be falling on the flower platform. So now you're kind of making your way. I would say that this is getting close to halfway in the actual main level now. Now, this was as far as I used to be able to get until I figured out how to use the scarecrow underneath there. I didn't even know it existed, but if you watch, you throw your hat, keep the button pressed down, and then you just do a backflip before the hat comes back, and it hits the scarecrow, and it gets you a shortcut up to the top. So from this point onward, I'd never been any further than this, and I got to this yesterday. So this was practicing. This is very funny though, I messed this part up massively. Completely hit the jump button, and I thought, fantastic, that's it. Look, I've fallen all the way down, I'm not going to be able to get back up the cyclones. And somehow, I managed to rescue it. And it's not normal that you can always rescue this, because in previous attempts, I didn't make the platform, or I hit the lava and then kind of fell off the side. So look how close I go to messing this up. Excuse me. But I manage it, but I knew I was going to hit the lava here, so I just had to not panic. So again, we've got all 6 lives, so now we have to fling ourselves across the lava. And again, it's all in the timing and the confidence. It's about being confident playing these levels. As soon as you start having sweaty palms, or you don't believe in yourself, these levels will beat you up, and it's all about remaining calm and just being aware of the patterns that are existing around you. Another good example is this section coming up. This is probably the hardest section of the game, in my opinion. This part isn't so hard, but it's trying not to throw your cap at the cylinder machines in the middle that throw out kind of like the laser circles, however much you want to hit them to help you. It's greatly advised not to do it, because all of a sudden you're just getting lasers being shot out everywhere. And what I tended to do was just go from corner to corner and just basically very carefully hit the little critters without hitting the I don't know what they're called, that's why I'm stalling. The spinning laser, pointy, I don't know, what are they called? What would you call them? Laser, donut laser. We're settled with donut laser. But as you'll see, it's just a case of remaining calm and not firing your hat toward it or enemies that are by it. So anyway, this is the bit that I died on nearly every time trying to complete this level. I really struggled here. And again, it's all to do with the timing and being confident. I got to this part fairly early on my attempts yesterday, and I just kept going on this part here. But this time, I manage it. But you watch this. There is real panic now. Am I going to make the jump? Will I make it? Just made it. Okay, got to get up. Got to get up. But watch this. No! No! Woo! And then I was like, yeah, you need to get up. You need to get up. And from this point on, I felt confident that I was going to complete the level. I'd seen this video online, and the guy that was playing it made it look a lot easier than what it actually is. Once you go down the pipe, the controls almost become inverted, so you're a little bit at a loss about exactly how to time your jumps. And you'll see I've got 6 lives, and by the time I finish this specific section, that was an error by my part, you will see that the gravity is not quite the same as you're used to. So a lot of this is me trying to figure out how to get through it. So don't panic, although I think there was a mild piece of panic, as you will see. And I really like the fact that Donkey Kong is at the end of this. I do like the little nod, but I don't like how tricky this was. It's frustrating because you'd like to go back and just play them like 100 times, but just getting to this point was I'd never played this at any time. This was my first time that I'd ever achieved it. So the recording which I made earlier this afternoon, this was the first time of me getting there ever. So I knew from here that if I could just get up, I'd be able to do it. I'll make a little bit of a boo-boo here, but I remember looking around and thinking, right, there's no more barrels, so as long as I just be calm and take my time, I'll do it. So I did that, And I was just confused momentarily about what warp zone to go down. Excuse me. So I'm down the warp zone, or the pipe, whatever you want to call it. I like warp zone. And then you get to a repeat battle that most of you should have played through during the earlier part of the game. It's like another opportunity to see it, but it's slightly different. So we all know this. I don't recall if this is harder than the first time that we played it. But what I was mindful of here was that you had your lifespan, and I wasn't sure whether or not if I died I'd have to do the whole thing again, and there was no way that that was happening. So I just took the opportunity to just smash through this as quickly as I could. But it was quite fast paced, and as soon as you get here you're getting hit from behind and you're trying to break the blocks in front of you, so you have to kind of almost prioritise. So it's quite funny. It's like, hit the block, no, hit behind me, hit the block, no, hit behind me, no, hit the block, no, hit behind me. But I kind of felt that I'd got this routine down there by this particular point, and I was pretty pleased. I can't remember if I managed to do this when I came across as the frog and entered the level backwards. I can't recall that, but what I can tell you is as soon as I did this part and went down the warp pipe, I knew where I was. So this essentially is the last part of the hard stuff, and you pop down there. You thought, I hope I'm not going to kill myself jumping down the hole. And you come out here, and this is quite a nice little touch. I must just point out as well that toward the end of this video I lost the audio. I've no idea why. It's probably my PVR, the video recorder which I used to capture it. For some reason I lost the audio, but it got it in the most important parts. So for those of you that haven't seen this, you might not want to watch it, but I'm guessing that if you watch the whole video, you've taken that choice to watch the video. I do ramble sometimes, but this almost reminds me of I think it was Star Road from Super Mario World on Super Nintendo, where you got kind of similar thing to thank you for doing it, which is a nice little touch, isn't it? And we go down the warp pipe, and this was where the frog glitch brings you to the other side. You just kind of swim in mid-air, and this is where I lose the audio for some reason, so I will add some audio here so that it's just not me talking. But yeah, the frog glitch essentially brings you from the side where the level starts before you go down the warp pipe, and then if you do a specific combination with, I think it's your hat and a frog whilst it's in mid-air, you all of a sudden stay in mid-air and you can kind of swim, and you swim right across the chasm or the canyon, and it brings you to this side, and then you just jump up the side here all the way to the very top of the tower to complete the level. And you can use the warp pipe to go into the level backwards, but there comes a point where it becomes not very fun, so that's why I really wanted to complete the level and do it myself. So this is essentially the pinnacle of the level. Just popped out. Come on, jump! Go on, climb, 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 climb. So I thought I'd speed this up. But it's a challenging level, darker side. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's not super hard, but some of the timing for those swinging platforms I found really, really frustrating. Although I didn't get any game rage, I really enjoyed the challenge. So there you have it. That is NintendoGBR, and that has been me completing Darker Side on Super Mario Odyssey. I hope you enjoyed it, and please let me know what you think about the video. Long Journey's End, oh yes.